Okay, everybody. Hello, this is Jeff Viken, and we are not going live on Zoom chat because it says you do not have permission. So let's see what we can do here. Boom, 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 boom. See. And hello, StreamYard. Hello, Roku. This is Jeff Eichen. And we are going to try to get our Facebook alignment again and see if they'll give us a portal to perfection. And welcome, everybody. It's a beautiful day at the neighborhood and I am going to go like that, and then boom, 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 that. Um, Relief Dash Foundation. .org. Okay, so we are really excited to tell you that there was elections this week, and we're going to see if we can go live on our incredible Zoom chat here. Here we go. Okay, got it. 2 times a charm. Everybody, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Boom. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen, everybody, with y'all. And meeting is now streaming. And we are going to go share screen. And we are going to share screen. Boom. And we're going to go boom. And we're going to go into the zone of the home of the QuickTime. Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Episode 180. Welcome, Steve Kravitz, a longtime author on smuggling pot. Let's meet Steve, FM Parade, today. And don't forget Emma, her house burned down. I'll put the link up for everybody to donate to GoFundMe, please. Hello, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here with WEEDSDAYS, episode 179. So I hope you remember this episode. We had David Bowie, Ground Control to Major Tom, and the rest. So so everybody, it's great to have everybody pop in today, and we are going to find our exact intro today, and it's a great day to have sunshine in the Pacific Northwest where I live. And let's see if we can find our movie here. We're going to open it right now. So everybody, welcome to WEEDSDAYS on deserves to be in jail. Welcome to WEEDSDAYS today on POD TV and around the world. We're in Ecuador, we're in Portugal, we're everywhere. And one of these days, I'm going to learn how to get us a million hits, everybody. We're going to have CBA in everybody's drink in the morning. It's going to be everywhere. You're going to get a frickin' coupon, you know, and it's going to be great. So Justiva in the house, and here we go. A joy and look. Still no volume. Yeah, we Can everybody see that and hear that?
We can see it, we cannot hear it. Chris cannot see it either.
Please welcome Steve Kravitz, a long time.
Do you not hear that? Do you not hear that, everybody?
I heard a tiny bit, but before that, nothing at all. I don't know why we're not hearing it.
Hang on. So we are going to go and get ourselves some help here, and let's see, stop sharing, but don't stop caring. So we are going to go boom, share, and I'm going to go optimize, and we're going to say share, and then I'm going to go get our episode here. So we're going to go get our episode, which is right over in the left-hand dookie side here. Boom. Okay, so let's see if this is our movie here. So we're going to go boom. We're going to go boom. Thank you, Smokahontas, for your beautiful music. We can't wait to see you at our concert. 420, we're doing a small concert, and then the following season, we're going to do the big concert. We're looking for you, Snoop. We're looking for you, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Please welcome Steve Kravitz, a longtime author on Smuggling Pod. I mean, let's meet Steve. Hemp Parade today. And don't forget Emma.
So last week you all saw Emma. She had her house burned down. So we want to support everybody in our world that's having
it's Jeff
difficulties.
Episode 179. So I hope you remember the 70s.
We're actually episode 180. It's a little too much smoking for me this morning. But I got some really good wedding cake, everybody. And I'll show it to you. It's really cool what I got.
Joy and love and light to all of you. And let's end this prohibition. Parade. So much is going on for all of us in our life. Just stay nice, stay friends, and help each other.
So there is war happening, everybody, on our planet. And this week we had some elections. And so I think we're making a little bit of progress. We'll get to Chris. He'll tell us the update in the hemp world. And maybe we'll get Duck and have him come in on some Lakota hemp. Welcome, everybody, today. Just visualize peace, everybody, and all of our prisoners coming home. It's the best we can do when we're home, networking, mowing the lawn, feeding the children, taking care of autistic children, and trying to make sense of this all. This journey that we make and that we do is up to us to make our legacy and to make it happen in a great, glorious way.
Here with WEEDSDAYS.
Episode 180.
So I hope you remember the 70s. We had David Bowie, Ground Control to Major Tom, and the rest. So just remember, nobody deserves to be in jail for a joint. And love and light to all of you. And let's end this prohibition. So, folks, there are festivals, there are celebrations, and there's merry-go-rounds in life. 420 is my world to make a difference with our world. Please, everybody, remember, there is war on the planet. There are children that are confused. There are adults that are confused. Allow us to have 420 be the answer. And with the elections this year, yesterday, please allow us to see and hear and play the songs louder and louder and louder until we end prohibition and bring every prisoner home. This is Jeff Eichen with episode 180. Thank you. Hemp, hemp. Hooray. Let's have a show.
I mean it, everybody. I'm not going to stop till we end prohibition and we get on stage at Oakland Coliseum. They're waiting for us. They want us. We have to raise $1 million freaking dollars, everybody. And, during this time of everybody coming together and holding hands, that may not stop war. It may not stop the nuclear bombs, but I gave my camera, my big fat camera, to a youngster yesterday, and he went to Tacoma, where there was a warship sending ammunition to Israel, and they blocked it. They blocked it for a while, but then it left. But we got on the news. We're doing what we can. So I'm going to introduce our show today and everybody and all of our weirdos here today. Weirdness is my middle name, and I'm wearing my see everything green is 3D here, so this is green screen, but it's my trimming sucks because it's harvest time. So welcome everybody, and in your little layers and where you are, Chris, I really welcome you, Chris, and CBA and Justiva. I was with you the other day when I called Chris the other day. Everybody, this is very, very synchronistic story, because synchronicity is happening to me the more I believe in synchronicity. So use your magic, everybody, to help change the world. So the other day I called Chris and I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "We're paddling out to put the ashes in the ocean." And I just called him on that one beautiful moment. And so believe in it, everybody. Pray tuned. Those that are on the other side, hopefully they can reach down and help us. We have Ohio just got legalized for recreation. So we're really beautiful. That would happen yesterday. We're inching our way, but we got to do better. So welcome everybody today. I'm going to start off with Jeannie. Jeannie, open up your beautiful photo heart and tell us how you doing.
Hi everybody. I hope everyone's all right. Look behind me. Isn't this beautiful? I got this from Bob Johnson at 11:11, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It shows us what can be. So I gotta start with this. I have 3 glam children. They call me Grandma. And I couldn't get a hold of my daughter, and I was getting a little bit nervous, and she wasn't texting me back. And then she finally texted me, and she said, "We are at a Kiss concert." Oh, my heart. So my little one, he's like 3, and then his big sister, she's like 4, and they're at a Kiss concert. And he's a little drummer. Remember I told you about him, Nicodemus? And that's like one. So I told them, don't look at Jean. Don't look at Jean. Please don't look at Jean. But other than that, I couldn't be more proud and pleased and chuffed. And so the children, I feel like we can do better for them. And I feel like we will. We cannot all right now. Ohio.
Welcome
Thank
aboard.
you.
Welcome aboard, Jeannie, on episode 180. 80 is a big number. Guess who turned 80 yesterday? They pulled up the trees and they put in a parking lot. Joni Mitchell.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson's 96. No, Joni Mitchell turned 80 yesterday.
Oh, Johnny. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's what, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
When he was born, he was in the Hall of Fame.
Well, they finally inducted him in, like officially.
Everybody in this room is in the Hall of Brain. So welcome, Rodimus. How is the Euro contingency? How are you doing, Grasshopper?
I'm doing well, thank you.
And any celebrations going on right now? I know you had harvest a few weeks ago, and I know you had to deal with your van getting sideswiped while it was parked. So how are you doing through all of the stuff we do? Oh, yeah.
Remarkably well, Jeffrey. Thank you.
Oh, nice. Okay. And Rodimus will be back to read the news. We'll swipe right on next to Rodimus. And Rodimus, do you know Chris, right? You know Chris Boucher.
I don't think so, Chris. Have we met before?
I'm not sure, but it's great to meet you. How you doing?
Good, thank you. I don't know anything about Chris, so can you tell me, well, or maybe
Chris Boucher and I, 40 years ago, must have been 40 or 30, at least 30. It was in Costa Mesa. He had a clothing company that called Hempstead, and he frickin' made the first hemp surfboard with Woody Harrelson.
That's right. I do know about you, Chris. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
And Chris, this little kid here in the orange little sweater there used to be on the Kung Fu series with a bald head snatching the pebble. That's Grasshopper.
Oh, very nice. Yes. Cool. Wow.
50 years ago.
Yeah.
That's fucking Grasshopper, dude. That's fucking Grasshopper.
That's amazing. Yes. Yeah. We George Clayton Johnson. Does that name ring a bell?
Well, George Clinton, it does, but not George Clinton Johnson.
No, George Clayton Johnson.
Oh.
I think he wrote a couple episodes for Kung Fu.
Oh.
He wrote the first Star Trek. He wrote Logan's Run. He wrote Ocean's 11.
Oh, wow.
And he wrote the foreword in Jack Hera's book, The Emperor Wears No Clothes. Every publication he would write the foreword. And anyways.
Is that a friend of yours?
Oh, he was a great friend of ours. Yeah, he was a friend of the whole hemp movement, George Clayton Johnson. But
Okay.
I just thought you might have heard his name. But
I'm sorry. Yeah, I apologize. You know, I was 12, 13, and 14 on that show, and all I had time to do was study my lines and get to the set, and I didn't actually understand what the adults were all doing, so I didn't have a chance to meet many of the writers. In fact, so I wish I had. So, is he still with us?
No, he passed a few years ago. Yeah.
But he was a friend of yours.
Very good friend, yeah. A mentor friend, just science fiction writer. And yeah, he even wrote the first Twilight Zone. He wrote the first Star Trek episode, the very first one. And
wow, man, that's amazing. I'm embarrassed. I don't know the name, and I appreciate your bringing that to my attention. And I'm certainly excited that I have 1 degree of separation from him.
Yeah.
Through you, but also, I guess, through my work too, I guess, right? Yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
Hey, so Chris, give us a little bit of Orange County news and how the paddle went. How's your heart?
You know, we've lost our nephew to cancer, and we did a paddle out. He was a surfer. We're all surfers, and so we spread ashes, paddle out in the ocean, form a big circle, and do the Mother Ocean prayers. And other than that, you know, just passing the time. And here in Orange County, it's just, you know, times are changing. In Laguna Beach, they just closed Taco Loco, one of the most famous restaurants. They started serving hemp burgers back in 92, 93.
What?
Yeah. Finally, after 40 years, they closed Taco Loco. And
was it a family thing, or were they going to build a dump?
You know, the rents have gone through the roof. All the restaurant owners and people that lease buildings, you know, real estate has gone up so much that they passed the rent increases and onto the proprietors and the restaurant owners, and we're just seeing a huge change in that whole industry. Smaller businesses are just very difficult to survive these days with all the costs, man. But
Hello.
I think you and I went to Taco Loco before, for sure.
It is. Who is this?
I think did you lose me there?
Yeah, no, Jeff is AOL, but
Yes.
AWOL.
Yeah,
all
keep
heard
going
you.
because I'm
That's
online
what
right now. So
That's what he
just
does.
deliver the red ones. That's
We
fine.
heard you.
Yeah, no, but everything in Orange County and then California.
Well, if
we got,
if there's a difference in
these new
price,
hemp
for sure.
laws that are being passed in every state that's really restricting not just like hemp CBD, but
Thank
hemp
you. I
protein
appreciate it.
powder,
Okay.
hemp
Bye-bye.
food,
Bye-bye.
hemp seeds. I mean, just to make a hemp food, you need a license, and that's not should never ever be that way. And at the same time, hemp cannabinoids or hemp laboratory get high molecules have now surpassed marijuana in the United States as the highest generating revenue. We're talking about $2 or $3 billion that is being sold in gas stations and in head shops, health food stores, hemp derived THC. And the hemp THC, it's kind of a double-edged sword in the sense that they're making hemp THC in a laboratory. It's not from the plant, and they have hemp delta 8. It's made in a laboratory. It's not from the plant, yet they're calling it hemp. And at the same time, it's basically the highest generating revenue of all cannabinoids.
The Delta, you mean the Delta has put it over the top? Kids are buying Delta every day?
Every day. Well, not just Delta 8, but
Delta
9.
There's Delta 9, right.
THC, then there's HHOC. And these cannabinoids are all derived in the laboratory. However, the law, basically the Hemp Farming Act, specifically says it's legal. When they passed the law, they didn't understand what an isomer was. They didn't understand the language that they wrote. So it opened this Pandora's box, and now like gas stations and head shops and convenience stores, there's tens of thousands of these stores that are selling, I call them hemp get high molecules. And they've surpassed the marijuana industry in total sales.
And have you been able to proof it at all to find out if there's even a buzz?
Oh yeah, I just ate some hemp THC gummies from one of the biggest companies in the hemp space.
Wait. We don't allow people that are twisted on our stage.
I want to hear the rest of this, Jim.
So I took a hemp THC gummy. It was 5 milligrams. You can buy it at a gas station or a head shop or convenience store. And I didn't think anything of it. And I was driving on the 405 freeway, and I just all of a sudden I'm like, I'm stoned. I'm high. And so you can buy these hemp, I call them get high products, without a license, without ID. So anyone can buy them. And what it's doing is it's causing a war with the marijuana industry. So sometimes you got to wear other people's shoes. So if you own a marijuana store here in California and you paid, let's say, $1 million to, get your license and operate your store, and the guy across the street at the convenience store, the gas station, the health food store, they're all selling hemp THC with no license, with no regulation. And, it's really, really upsetting all of the cannabis marijuana corporations and lobby firms. And so they're coming on the warpath, and they're attacking hemp in several states, and they're imposing some really strict laws that's going to affect us for a long time.
So is that going to affect the material and the industrial aspects of doing hempcrete and everything? I mean,
it's affecting all hemp foods, whether it's hemp CBD or just hemp protein powder or hemp milk.
Hemp heart seeds that we get from Canada.
Yeah, so if you wanted to be an American hemp seed business in California or other states, you'd have to register and pay a bunch of fees to operate legally, which, it makes no legal sense whatsoever, because hemp's an agricultural commodity.
Well,
It's,
who is there one office, one group of talking heads that started this and that are benefiting from it, that started the movement, the war?
Yeah, so the main lobby group that has millions of dollars to pass laws is called CANRA, CANNRA. And I can forward you an article on CANRA.
Okay.
So CANRA is basically, what they did in Colorado, the new hemp law there, and other states, California, Florida, Virginia has the strictest hemp laws in the United States. Most hemp businesses went out of business in Virginia because they passed the most restrictive hemp laws in the states, in the United States. So it's affecting the hemp food business. That's what I'm saying. The get high hemp products, the THC, the Delta 8, it's legal. And hey, man, buy it, sell it, use it if it's legal. But the issue is that it's causing the hemp foods and the hemp juices to become very difficult to make.
Is it a fraction of the price?
Oh yeah, it's a fraction of the price. I mean, you can go into a marijuana dispensary and buy 10 milligrams of THC, and then you can walk across the street and buy 5 milligrams of THC, and all you got to do is take 2 gummies, and you get 10 milligrams. But there's no license, so it's pretty cheap when you look at the comparison. But
And what about the ultimate health? Are we scared? I mean, is it not healthy, Delta 8 or 9?
Well, they're analogs, so they're really not molecules. So what they're derived from, people are making CBD isolate, which is the white powder. It's 99%, CBD. It's a pharmaceutical product. However, if you add acetone and different acids to it, and you can convert it into Delta 8, you can convert CBD into THC. So there's all kinds of laboratory chemicals that you could use to convert this stuff. And some people are saying, oh, I'm extracting it out of the plant, but there's no way you can extract 0.3% THC out of a hemp plant. It makes no sense economically. You'd have to use,
So how many companies,
Chris?
Chris? How many companies, Chris, are actually in charge of the revenues, rewards of this, and who are the police that are making sure that Delta 8 and Delta 9 products are healthy, not moldy, and proper, and not too intense? So like when you get in your car,
it's unregulated. It's unregulated. Nobody is. That's why they're so upset, is that there's no regulation, so anyone can make it, and anyone can sell it. And it's causing, like I said, any kid in high school can go into the local gas station or head shop and buy this stuff without an ID, versus, it'd be like going into a liquor store and buying alcohol without an ID, and making alcohol, whiskey or beer without a license. So that's how the marijuana people look at it, and I get it. It definitely, I'd be upset if I paid $1 million to sell THC and the guy across the street has paid no money in selling hemp THC, so.
how do you see this playing out? What can we do on our show and in legislation to bring awareness to this?
Let me interject a question. Chris, yeah, how does this person selling it across the street without all the required permits, where are they getting it from? That's I think a key issue here too. So
you just buy it from the local lab. So the labs that are making CBD oil and they're making, CBD, they're all making THC now because there's a loophole in the law. So imagine, you let's just say your lab, you're making, $5 a day making CBD, but if you convert over to hemp THC, you can now make $1,000 a day. I mean, the profit and the revenue is massive. I mean, I can't even tell you, 90% of the CBD isolate that is made now is now being diverted to make hemp THC, Delta 8, HOC, it was an HOHC, whatever. So there's all these molecules, and they're actually called analogs that you can make in a laboratory, and they mimic THC, but they're not from the plant.
And they're not from any organic plant matter?
No, they're from a chemically produced, it's called CBD isolate. You know, isolate can be made in a rotovap. I don't know if you've ever seen how they make isolate.
But how does it fit into the hemp world? I mean, the hemp.
Well, that's what he's explaining, Jeff. It
Yeah.
doesn't, and that's the problem. It's causing a war right now.
If you read the law, it says derived from hemp oil, isolates, waxes, and resins. So the word derived. So if you take hemp CBD and you convert it into hemp THC, it's still derived from hemp because it originally came from hemp. It got turned into CBD, and it got turned into THC. So it's called the word derived.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
So as someone who spent some time in my life, not recently, but years ago, being aware of naturopathic medicines and things like that, and for example, Chinese medicine and etc. There's a belief among people who are more organically oriented that you can isolate like the effective ingredient in some of these plants, that they make certain other pharmaceuticals out of. You can isolate that and give it something, and it will have an effect, but it's not as good of an effect as when you actually have the plant with some of these other enzymes and proteins that are with the plant itself that actually make it assimilate in a more copacetic way with the body. So I'm asking a question, as a setup for a question to ask you. Is there actually, are people who are taking this isolated molecule, are they not, is the high from that or the physical effects of it somehow not as beneficial to the entire body because it's not coming along with the herbal aspects that are part of the plant version?
Yeah, so exactly. It definitely, there's not enough science to say, well, how bad is it? So the THC is not coming from a resin off the actual plant. The THC is coming from a molecule that's called an analog, which is a laboratory. I kind of call it, I have a thing I call, they're calling it, it'd be like calling a vitamin C pill an orange. Hey, I'm going to eat an orange and it's actually a vitamin C. And, it's not an orange. It's an extract from an orange. So the hemp people are now kind of expanding the word. Oh, this is hemp. And it's just derived through a series of chemical reactions.
Right.
And they shouldn't even call it hemp, but it's the way people market something, so.
What is your opinion? What is your opinion, though? Your personal opinion I'm asking for at this point, then. Do you think it's better to get it from the plant naturally, or is it just as good to get it from this derivative, the laboratory derivative?
Oh, I think just getting it from the plant is 1,000 times better because at least we have science. We know that the THC that comes from the cannabis plant, whether you cook it or you smoke it, it has a lot of published science behind it. However, when you make something in a laboratory and you mimic the THC molecule, there's no science that really I can wrap my head around to say, is this comparable or better? I mean, most people are going to go, I'm just going to go to the marijuana store and buy real marijuana. I'm not going to buy a hemp THC pill. However, when you look at the logistics across America, how many marijuana stores are there? And can people just pop in there and go buy their, marijuana, where if you go to the convenience store and you're buying, I don't know, a soda, you're buying beer, you're buying a candy bar, and there's THC right there. All the transactions are done in one place. So it makes it a lot easier to sell in mass quantity if you're selling, at a 7-Eleven or an AM PM or a pipe shop, head shop,
Or the underage kids. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was in a head shop, a pipe shop, whatever we used to call them, head shops, about a month ago, and my friend owns it. I said, "Well, how's business?" I'm just getting an insight, and he says it's great. I can't keep his number one selling items in his store now are hemp, THC, and kratom, and people come in all day. And I asked him if he's had a problem with the cops. He says no. The cops aren't around anymore. They don't come into your store because you're selling THC or somebody stole something. Those days are over right now. So as we're talking, a woman comes in and starts yelling at him that her daughter in junior high had bought a hemp a Delta 8 vape in his store, and she said she's going to call the cops. And he's like, "Well, go ahead. One, I didn't sell it to her. Maybe someone else bought it in the store and gave it to her." And so he says, "Well, how do you know she got high from it?" And the lady says, "Well, I took a couple of hits off of it too." And it was kind of funny, but it wasn't, because her 8th grade daughter is smoking a Delta 8 vape with her friends because it's so easy to get, and it was kind of ironic that I was right there listening to the whole thing, and she thought it was illegal to sell, and he's like, "No, this is legal, lady." So she called the cops. I don't think they ever came, but
Can Wilfred sell his cigarettes at a 7-Eleven?
not in California. That's nice. Yeah, California is not allowing smokable hemp, so people are selling now. They're selling called hemp THC. Have you heard of hemp THCA? It's the new THCA.
No.
Yeah, look it up. Yeah, so it's basically, there's a couple varieties of marijuana that test below 0.3 for Delta 9.
Right.
Yet the THCA level is like 15% THCA, which basically, if you lit that joint, that THCA is going to all decarboxylate and turn to Delta 9. So basically, people are selling, cannabis, calling it hemp because it's high in THCA, and that's another whole loophole, crazy industry. I can't even begin to tell you. And so if the police come into your store and they take your hemp products, they test for Delta 9. They don't test for THCA. So that's a whole nother, legal loophole, they call it. I'll have to send you some of the articles that a couple of these lawyers have written in regards to what I'm talking about. And
How do you see this playing out? I mean, we have all these issues on the planet right now, from abortion to war. How do we manage this? What is it time to make a difference and say what we need to say about it, as we're doing right now on my show? We're opening up the conversation.
Yeah, the Farm Bill in Congress it's going to be another year. So they're definitely taking out the language that allows Delta 8 and hemp THC to be legal. It's already gone to federal court, and it specifically says, if you read the law, that it's legal. So they just made a mistake when they passed the hemp bill, not understanding their own language that was in the bill.
Well, we didn't know about Delta 8 or 9 when the hemp bill was made.
Well, it's an isomer, so the law says all derivatives, waxes, and oils, and isomers thereof derived from hemp are legal. So I didn't know what an isomer was. I thought it was just a conversion, in a lab, but I didn't know you can convert.
I thought it was a piece of luggage. Yeah. Well, everybody, we're on Weeds Day here. It's Jeff Eichen here, episode 180. I'm laying it straight. I'm laying my heart, my life on the line. My heart is open to bringing all the prisoners home. I read this letter, everybody, last week from Edwin Rubies, and it says it's from Federal Correctional Institution. He's in Alabama. It's not very funny. It's not very funny. So he wrote me nothing. But he gave me this form I'm going to fill out today. And I'm going to go visit him and film him. The last time I did that was in 2015. And in 2016, Jeff Mazansky came home. So hemp hooray for Edwin. He called me the other day. And, it's all up on board. We may not be able to film him like when we went to see Michael Thompson, who is home now. Michael Thompson, they would not allow us to film in the room, but they did get a camera. And one of the orange jumpsuit guys came out and took a picture of us, had a printer and printed out a picture. I brought it home. I scanned it. I used it for all of our media and helped him to raise his loudness. So we're going to go see Edwin soon. So we're raising our money to get a flight there and an Airbnb. So look after us, everybody. And Chris, we're still working on our concert series. I've decided to do a local concert here in Washington State at the McCurdy Pavilion that's in my town. It holds 1,000 people. So we're going to do and we want you here, Chris. We want you here to support us and to be one of our biggest sponsors, and everybody will have some juice there. And so on that night, we're going to raise $1 million to get Oakland Coliseum to do the big concert and have the big, incredible gathering of all the prisoners. So everybody look out for us and all the things we're doing. Let's see here. Who didn't we get to? Did we get to Jeannie? We get to there's Bob Mom.
Hey Jeff, I got a roll here. I have to drive into town, so I'm going to check out now. But thank
Nice
you
to meet you,
guys.
Chris.
Really
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. Thank you for everything you do, Chris. Really appreciate
Yeah, I
it.
want to get your information. I want to send you guys some sample Justiva so you can try out.
I'm waiting, dude. I'm waiting. I love you so much. And
Love you guys.
that jar looks great. Thank you, Chris. And blessings. I'll see you on the water, and we'll talk off screen. Hemp hooray.
Awesome.
Hemp hooray. Awesome, Chris.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us. So everybody, that was Chris Boucher. I used to shoot hoops in a little industrial park in Costa Mesa, California, with Chris Boucher, and Woody Harrelson would come down, and they made the most beautiful hats, wallets. He sold probably 1 million wallets, out of hemp, and it's still fucking illegal. And he just brought in some new information that is so incredible and important for us to know about. And does that quash everything? Does that throw a change in the everything? There's one of our beautiful tip jars coming up, and so
Nice.
so I just wanna say that I really appreciate everything Chris does. I was at the hemp gathering in Colorado with Chris. We went to the airport together with him and his wife. And he's just a beautiful soul, and his heart is in the right place. It's too bad we lost his nephew. He was an incredible soul, and some other people that he knew in the hemp industry have left the planet. But our hemp jars are looking beautiful. We're just really blessed to have our tip jars coming along. And I've already designed our sticker. Now I just have to send it out and get it printed. So I'll send you 50 stickers in the next couple weeks. And Crazy Pop Mom, thank you so much. And why don't we just go straight to the news, Rodimus? I would love to have you read the news. I have yet in the last several weeks found my my news, read the news, little spot. So at the count of three, I'll just go. It's Canon News time, everybody, and it's Jeff Eichen here with episode 180, and we're laying it straight, and we got Rodimus Para to read us the Canon News. Take it away, Rodimus.
Hi. So let's see. Since marijuana was just legalized yesterday in Ohio, there's a bunch of questions that have now come up about that. So they looked into the balanced language and found where it clearly states that an employer is not required to accommodate an employee's use, possession, or distribution of adult use of cannabis, meaning the passing of issue 2, which is what they called it in Ohio, does not give employees a free pass to go to work under the influence of marijuana. Issue 2 also does not prohibit an employer from refusing to discharge, disciplining, or otherwise taking an adverse employment action against an individual because of that individual's use, possession, or distribution of cannabis. Akron attorney at law and former assistant attorney general Adam Van Ho tells the news here that with recreational marijuana use now legal, certain professions will likely be under even more pressure, like healthcare professionals and law enforcement. You're going to see a lot more testing in medicine and law enforcement. In medicine, you'll see more testing because of the fact that there's going to be constant questions if something goes wrong on an operating table or medications aren't prescribed correctly, Van Ho said. He added, in law enforcement, because you have officers carrying weapons, and traditionally those haven't been areas that have been tested in the past, but I expect them to be tested more in the future, unquote. Another question with the passing now of issue 2 is, what will the new law look like for drivers, and what possible penalties could those face for getting behind the wheel under the influence? Van Ho tells us that legalization of marijuana will not change Ohio law when it comes to being pulled over. In fact, more citations are expected once the law goes into effect, roughly 29 days from now. So we can also expect an uptick in accidents, it's a misprint. It said accents. They meant accidents and DUIs. The concern is more people may think it's okay or safe to use marijuana and operate a vehicle. While law enforcement will likely gear up to crack down on OVIs, Van Ho says the state will need to retrain officers to better detect high drivers and upgrade drug testing equipment. That could include roadside, express urine testing, and other advanced field sobriety tests. There's been a lot of scare tactics. This is, I think, the same fellow talking, Van Ho. There's been a lot of scare tactics out there trying to say that this new law is going to make it harder for police to stop people. I think the exact opposite is going to happen, where we're going to have some officers being better trained in the detection of people who are high, and you're going to have people who maybe slipped through it before being pulled over and asked to give a field sobriety test. Since the technology for this type of speedy roadside testing isn't perfect and or fully developed yet, Van Ho says prosecutors and police officers will likely ask courts to issue warrants for impaired drivers to give urine or even blood samples in the near future. So if you're getting high in Ohio, don't drive. And if you're getting high anywhere, not just Ohio, but any high, don't drive, yo. Okay,
Blow.
Right. So next up in Canada News, 1 year after setting into motion the most significant transformation in federal marijuana policy since 1970, the same politician who's used as a U.S. senator escalated the drug war to its apex has now, as president, laid the cornerstone for a stable and lasting legal marijuana industry. Love him or hate him, said Andrew Klein, Denver-based senior counsel at national law firm Perkins Cole, this industry should now show him some appreciation. That would be Mr. Joe Biden there in the White House. How it started. Drug reformers had low hopes for a Biden White House, and law and order hardliner, a law and order hardliner as a senator, Biden was routinely ridiculed on the 2020 campaign trail for refusing to adapt to changing attitudes about drug use. But his October 2022 declaration that a half century of federal marijuana prohibition was a, quote, failed approach is the most pro-reform statement from a sitting president. Biden's accompanying executive order for federal health regulators to expeditiously reevaluate the way the country regulates marijuana culminated with an August 29th recommendation from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services that the drug be reclassified as a Schedule III controlled substance. The recommendation is the federal government's that marijuana has medicinal value. Legal experts say the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration has no choice but to codify the recommendation, which would immediately relieve cannabis operators from Section 280E of the IRS code. Section 280E prohibits plant-touching businesses from taking normal business deductions on federal tax returns. So that's going to change now. Given that the recommendation appeared less than a year after the review process was launched, it is a clear indicator that the White House is taking drug policy reform seriously. A second Biden term, if it materializes, might trend toward interstate marijuana commerce and federal legalization, observers say. How it's going. As of mid-October, the DEA was evaluating that recommendation, the final step before the agency issues a proposed change to federal law. But even that hurdle now seems like a formality. The DEA has yet to contradict health regulators' recommendations on matters of science and health, and might lack the authority to do so, according to an analysis by the Congressional Research Service think tank. That means the DEA is likely to sign off on the HHS recommendations and issue a proposed rule change, possibly as early as the end of the year, predicted Howard Slamberg, a former top enforcement official at the FDA, who is now a partner at a Washington, D.C. based law firm Arnold & Porter. He says, I don't think that will take terribly long. Who also correctly predicted that the HHS recommendation would come more quickly than many anticipated. They're wanting to get this done, he added. They'll have to wait. They'll want to have the final rule done certainly by 2024, and probably not too late in 2024, given the political cycle. That might mean that Biden, chief sponsor and lead agitator for the notorious 1994 crime bill that filled the nation's prisons with nonviolent drug offenders, could run for re-election with, quote, doing more than any other president to legalize marijuana, unquote, on his resume, which could be a key factor in cannabis-friendly swing states such as Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Sorry about that. Biden was not a friend of cannabis, said Aaron Miles, chief investigator of Chicago-based marijuana multi-state operator Verano Holdings Corporation. At one point, most recently, he was calling this a gateway drug. For this administration to embrace this as medicine is just massive. Massive, this guy says. What's next? Well, while drugs have been rescheduled and even descheduled in the past, the most relevant example being Epidiolex, the hemp-derived CBD-rich epilepsy treatment that the DEA classified as a Schedule 5 drug in 2018 before removing it from the Controlled Substances Act entirely in 2020, experts agree that there is little precedent for rescheduling marijuana that would give a clear picture of what's to follow. It's totally fair to say it's unprecedented, said Jonathan Calkins, a drug policy researcher at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. This is a botanical number one, say Klein and Perkins Cole. And number two, there has never been a nationwide marketplace for a drug that hasn't been approved by the FDA like this. Still, there's a generally agreed upon process that the rescheduling recommendation will follow from here, policy experts said. All right, well, skipping ahead here. Oh, what must still happen? Yet, as critics and skeptics point out, rescheduling is not legalization. Downgrading cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, which permits doctors and DEA-licensed pharmacies to provide FDA-approved drugs such as anabolic steroids, ketamine, and Tylenol with codeine, might raise more questions than answers for an industry that largely operates independently of physicians and mainstream pharmacies. It may be a halfway victory for the industry, quote unquote, if suddenly federal authorities insist that doctors must prescribe marijuana like other drugs, observed Joshua Horn of Philadelphia headquartered law firm Fox Rothschild. Another complication would be a new president at the White House. It is possible that Biden, whose approval rating stood at 42% in August, according to research firm Gallup, and who is neck and neck with former President, what's his name, in most presidential polling, could lose his re-election bid. As president, Trump was mostly hands-off, granting the cannabis industry no favors while generally leaving state legal marijuana alone. And although neither that guy with orange hair nor his distant rivals for the Republican nomination have made marijuana a 2024 campaign issue, with reform now more closely associated with Democrats, whomever becomes president might choose to use their power to change course yet again. And that's the news of cannabis today.
Oh, wow. So we had elections, everybody, and it looks like Ohio is getting the scene like a big machine. And notice how I didn't use the sexy word there, but I have something sexy to share with everybody today. So let me get thank you so much, Rodimus, for reading the news today. That's really hemp hoorayer. But I wanted to show everybody it's harvest time, and I just went to one of my buddies and traded and did some good business here. But everybody take a whiff of my beautiful booty here. And I've got some GMO. I got some GMO. This is called GMO here. And let's see if I can get it there. There's some GMO. And then I've got some wedding cake here, wedding cake. You know, I normally don't bring this out on stage here, but it's harvest time. And I've got my Trimming Sucks t-shirt on. So look at that, everybody. How many fingers was, remember we used to get a lid and you go, how many fingers? Look at that, baby. Is that a 5-finger lid? So it's really fun. And that's harvest time. I should photograph these again because there's some really beautiful crystals here. And so you can't see it because I got my green screen on, but it's really fun to have harvest time. Smoke wisely, learn from Chris and his ability to bring out the information of the deltas. That was really interesting. Does everybody feel that was really interesting?
Yes.
Crazy Pop Mom, was that interesting?
Yes, I did know a lot about that because it's a big thing in our world over here. That it was like, no, don't get caught up in that. So we did know a little bit about that. But the fact that it's just a free-for-all, they've canceled out vaping. So why the heck is this something that they're not concerned about, being regulated? It doesn't make any sense. So I feel like people got educated today, and that's great.
It's really weird. And how about you, Jeannie? What about Delta 9?
Yeah, I'm using a PayPal to be able to sell it to children on Come. This industry doesn't need greed, it has need. We have patients and we have people that need to be healed and given the medicine. We need to get our prisoners out and start building with hemp. And we need to stop this nonsense. Stop trying to weaponize everything and turn it into something bad when it starts out really good.
You're absolutely right. Yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you so much for bringing that up. We don't want to have a war with this beautiful plant and the people that are still stuck in greed. I'm really embarrassed for our industry right now that a man-made substance is mimicking yet again, the substance that we love or that we call THC. So I've got one last thing to share with you, everybody. I had an art show this weekend, and it was really fun. This is my show, so I'll tell you about my other show. I'm out there now selling my art, my photography, and I'm really blessed and happy to do that. After all these years, I'm back in the art world, and so I met this gentleman. I want to do a plug for my friend at New Ventures. So New Ventures is let's see, they are New Venture LLC.com, and they're the people that do my 3D prints. And so I'm going to show you a couple of the 3D prints. I sold quite a bit while I was there. And but first, one of my holiday images that we have available here is the incredible everybody has a bong in their hand, but because it's green, it looks like that. But this is a photograph I made several years ago, and I put a bong in everybody's hand. So this is please, Judas, please pass the salt, and that's the way it rolls at the Last Supper. So that's a photo.
That's the last safety meeting, not the Last Supper.
Right. And so so I have on every corner, I have something that is written here on this is a unfortunately you can't see it, but it's a canvas print, and these are available on my site. So you can go to any of my sites, relieffoundation.org. But I want to show you a few of the beautiful, incredible 3D prints, and how. Let's see if we can. There we go. We can get this 3D print. Beautiful. So these are the 3D prints that are available, and they're beautiful, and they're finished well. And my buddy gets the images from J. Paul Getty, and we get the license to do this, and then he has them made, and they're 3D actually in China. And so here's another one. I'll show you a few more. So in Washington, we cannot sell the again. Let's see if I can get that without reflections. Well, we cannot get that one without reflection. So we cannot sell artwork. It's really weird. We cannot sell artwork in the hang on. We'll admit somebody new in here. We cannot submit artwork in Washington State, but I have this beautiful artwork available for your smoke shop or for any other state that can. Look how 3D that is, and it's actually 3D when you see it in real life. And so they're all over my website. And then last but not least, we have Rasta Lion, and Rasta Lion's the coolest. And so let's see if I can get it without reflection there.
Is that all artwork, or is that just weed related artwork that you're not able to sell there?
In a cannabis store, you can't sell any artwork at all.
Okay.
Okay, you can sell pipes, you can sell, clothing, whatever, but it's a Washington thing. I don't know how many other states have that law, but I just had a guy that came to my booth this weekend at a Christmas sale, and I had a little corner amongst all my artwork, my classic black and white photographs. And so the people that got to go in there, and he has a guitar shop, and he says he wants every shot. So we're going to get him signed up. And my mom says money while you sleep. So we're going to get a bunch of these to him and to the rest of the world. So these are all available, everybody. These are beautiful, and you can hang them up. They're all sealed and beautiful, and we can ship these to you. And it's a holiday, so get ready for the holidays, everybody. And let's welcome. Let's see, we got to welcome. Okay, we're gonna welcome.
Hi, Happy. How are you?
Gonna welcome Happy on. Come on, Happy. Say hey.
Hello. Hi, Happy. Hi.
How's it going, Happy?
Really good right now. Dog sitting for the moment.
You're dog sitting, and does the dog have CBD treats?
Yes, we just got a package of CBD treats in the mail, and it was like Christmas. We got gummies and everything.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, we're really blessed to have you on. Do you have any updates or you want to say a shout out to any of the prisoners?
Yeah, definitely shout out to the prisoners. I want to get the writing list. I don't have a copy of that. I don't mind writing. Some of them you can write online nowadays.
You can write on Freedom Grow.
Freedom Grow.
Yeah, freedomgrow.com or freedomgrow.org. And I don't know which one it is, but either one will get you right to, I think they have templates, and they have places where you can portal some letters to them. What they do is they print them out, and then they physically send them to the prisoners.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm interested in that. I'm personally still homeless right now, so I'm on my way to being housed within the next few weeks, but we're still camping and it's starting to get cold, so that takes up a lot of my time and attention.
Oh, wow. Where are you?
I'm in southern Arizona, so it's not too bad yet.
Are you in the highland or lowland?
Low. We're as south as it gets. I'm right out the border wall.
Oh, so it shouldn't get too cold there.
Yeah, it doesn't freeze.
Okay, cool. Well, it does where I live, and it's great to see you. So what is your next move? What are you doing besides getting a house? I mean, what are you doing to help raise awareness and end prohibition?
Um, what I was doing is holding rallies and events. I don't know what the new post-pandemic thing looks like. I'm interested in working with a couple of team members that know how to live stream, such as yourself, and get. I have been working very hard on something called iboga.
Iboga is the answer to helping you get off of heroin.
Correct, and methamphetamine and many other things that we don't currently have uh, processing for. So I'm looking at iboga instead of ibogaine, which is kind of what has been promoted thus far in the counterculture.
Sure.
But my in-laws have led me to believe that the root is significantly more of a safe route.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great. And remind us who brought you to us. Who brought you here, Happy?
The brother from the Lakota tribe.
Oh, Duck and
Duck,
and
yeah.
okay, Donald. Yeah, Donald was gonna be on today, but he always wakes up a little bit like 10 minutes after the show and go, fudge, I missed it again. So remember, everybody, we've been on for an hour. We're going to get off right now. It's 1:11, and trimming sucks. And welcome aboard, all you beautiful ladies. And Rodimus, thank you. And Chris Boucher, thank you for today. So stay close with us. You're welcome to I Am Me and to find me after hours. Happy. And oh yeah, let's everybody do 3. And I'll do a thank you photo here. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. Jeannie, put your hand closer to the camera. There you go. There you go. 1. Oh, we don't see it. We don't see it. There we go. Hang on. Hang on. Get 3. 1, 2. It's hard. Pull it back a little bit. Right there. Do it again. Do it again. I'm trying to get it. Hang on, pull it back. Right. Do it again, Jeannie. I can't get your 3. Put it near your face. Put it near your face. There you go. Right there. No, back, right there. Okay, got it. Cool. That was a good one. That was a good one. So everybody, it's been a great.
I sent you my address in Messenger last week.
I got that, and I've got our stickers in the queue, and they already say tip jar on them, and bless you all, and we're gonna roll out of here with our outro, and it's been a great show, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and let's see if we can get through this baby here, and here we go. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. It's Jeff Eichen with episode 180. Joni Mitchell's 80 this week. I think yesterday was her birthday.
Please welcome Steve Kravitz, a longtime author on Smuggling Pod. I mean, let's meet Steve and Parade today. And don't forget Emma. Her house burned down. I'll put the link up for everybody to donate to her GoFundMe, please. Hello, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here with WEEDSDAYS, episode 179. So,
Actually,
I hope you remember the
180.
70s. We had David Bowie, Ground Control to Major Tom, and the rest. So just remember, nobody deserves to be in jail for a joint. And love and light to all of you. And let's end this prohibition. Happy parade. So much.
That's all I got for you today, everybody. It's been really a blessing to have you here in the studio. Thank you, Happy. Thank you, all the ladies and all the germs with us today. We learned a lot about Delta 8 and Delta 9, and I'm going to go end Prohibition my way. So, hemp hooray, everybody. Love you so much, and it's time to end Prohibition in a big way. Thank you so much, everybody. Peace in the Middle East, for sure. And trimming sucks. That's what my shirt says. Trimming sucks. So hello to Kimmy and to Kyrie and to Hakeem and the fishies. And I love you all, and lots of roses for you in your heart. And everybody, okay, peace, be well. Love you all. Hemp, hemp, hooray. Jeff Eichen. So everybody, we are still rolling here on our StreamYard. So we're loving it up here, and we're loving you up. And let's see if we can get back onto StreamYard here in a good way. So we are going to go boom, remove. There we are. So StreamYard, thank you so much for joining us today. And Roku station, thank you so much. And our YouTube station, everybody out there in glorious 420 world, just remember, we're ending Prohibition our way, and we're making noise in the universe. Okay, so I believe in quantum. When we say it here, we mean it. Okay, so nobody deserves to be in jail for a plant. Hemp hemp hooray. And here's a shout out to my beautiful buddy, Vivian McPeak. May you be well. Okay, peace out. From Hempest.